Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, 7:30 a.m. I am so glad to be here with you. I have my coffee. You all are here with me. Life is good. Mm. I heard your complaints last week, and I have what looks like a plain black background. It is still moving, but just ever so slightly, because a lot of you said that it was making you nauseous. So that's not what I want. Here I am today. Let's have a good time. Good morning, Evelyn. I am so glad to see you. So very glad to see you, dear. Shari is here. Shari is here. She says, "Good morning." Good morning. I'm so glad that you're here, dear. She's getting ready for work. Well, that's a lot of fun. Good morning, Uncle Big Guy. The chickens are up. Oh my goodness. That reminds me, I am going to be making a chicken nugget recipe today, or at least filming a chicken nugget recipe today. I don't know how long it'll take me to get it up and ready to go, but hopefully it turns out the way that I want to, because they should come out kind of like McDonald's chicken nuggets. Ooh, because I love those. It is always a struggle to go through McDonald's for the girl on Friday and get her a Happy Meal and not get like 50 chicken nuggets, because that's what I would do. Danny, my boy, Danny is a good dude. I'm so glad to see you here, Danny. Just got up to make coffee and bacon. Wonderful. John Gugahan, so glad you are here, John. How are you doing today? Diane is here. Good morning, Diane. Christian Delorme is here. Good morning. Sherry Watkins is here. Oh, click the wrong one. Sherry Watkins is here. Thank you so very much. So glad you're here. Jeff is speaking gibberish because he says, "Good morning. No caffeine for me since Tuesday." I don't understand what that means. But good luck to you, sir. Charlie, good morning, sir. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you, Charlie. I was looking at some of the photos. Um, Looking at some of the photos from last week, and there's a lot of them. They're starting to come out now, and it was, you were in some photos. I was in some photos. Jeff was in some photos. Danny was in photos. I love it. I love your faces, and I'm so glad you're all here this morning with me. Pink coffee. Mm. Oh my goodness. Jeff says let's see. That's a feat with the caffeine. Yeah, I've gone like as long as a year without caffeine, and it's not for me. Caffeine and I are like peas and carrots, peanut butter and jelly. We just need each other. We just do. We just need each other. Caffeine is vital to my existence. Not, well, I guess it's not so much the caffeine as is the coffee. And I like energy drinks. What are you gonna do? John says he's having some pancakes made with Aviate Lupini pancake mix. Is that did you get that from did you order that through Steve from Serious Keto? And let me know how that is. Mm. Carl's in the house. Good morning, sir. Oh my goodness gracious. Let me get situated here. I feel like no matter how many lights I have in the house or no many lights I have facing me, it's always like some kind of weird, like shadowy thing happens. But Danny says he's switching to decaf. Switching to decaf when he goes through what he has. Good luck to you. And Jeff's saying he hoping that it improves his sleep. I don't I don't have any issues sleeping. I have an issue of getting up. Like I can sleep literally like 15, 16 hours a day. I'm still waiting on this whole on keto. I don't need to sleep to happen. I haven't had that yet. So, yeah. Sherry says, I just did 9 months without coffee because it just didn't taste good to me. The smell is great. Caffeine I can do without, but even a good cup of decaf is nice now and then. I get that. I get that a lot. Yeah. Mm. Evelyn says that she made keto chow pancakes yesterday, eggnog flavored. Those sound delightful. Well, I don't know. I don't know how does that taste? I'm not been a huge like eggnog person, so I'm not quite sure how I would feel about that. Let me know. Good morning, Maitreya. I'm looking forward to Thursday. Maitreya's going to be in town. We're going to have dinner Thursday. It's going to be a good time. I think it's going to be me and her and Chandra and Jackie and Jennifer Lucas, I believe. So that'll be a good time. Sherry says increasing her fats has helped me sleep better. Yeah, I can see that. Charlie says I have no idea what coffee drinkers go through since I have never started, but it smells wonderful. I remember always loving the smell of coffee as long as I could remember, and then I remember my grandmother gave me like a spoonful of her coffee with cream and sugar in it when I was a kid, and I was like, "This is gross." And really, I only drank coffee late nights when we were hanging out at Denny's when I was a youth, one of them Utes. When we would hang out at Denny's on the weekends and such, we would just hang out. Um, but it was like but I would call it kitty coffee. It was more sugar and cream than it was coffee. And then I didn't really drink it much until about 2010 when I quit smoking cigarettes. I gave up smoking cigarettes and picked up a coffee habit. I still think I'm coming out ahead. Oh, let's see. John says that he did use Steve's discount code on Amazon. He had the rice yesterday, and it was really good, like a mix between rice and pasta. The pancakes are also really good. Oh yeah, I still got maybe 10 or 12 boxes of the perfect keto mac and cheese left. I made some for Chandra the other night. As far as I understand, they are not going to be continuing making that anymore. I got an email from Perfect Keto that they're going to be they had their Malo bars back in stock. So I'm not quite sure what they're going to be selling and offering moving forward. As an affiliate or a previous affiliate, I imagine they haven't really communicated with us affiliates at all since the whole, everything has gone on. So we don't really know much about anything. So I don't know if they're going to continue with their electrolyte drink or they're going to continue with what products, if any. I know they're trying to be more of a supplement company, so I'm not quite sure what they're doing. I need to reach out to them and find out, see if I can get a response because I really enjoyed working with them. I enjoyed the mac and cheese. It's a lot chewier than regular mac and cheese is, but what are you going to do? All the lupini stuff looks so good. Wish I wasn't allergic. So, are you allergic to everything, Maitreya? Because you're allergic to rice and gluten and all that stuff. I don't know. Like, that's just got to be so rough. It's like they're coming out with all these products, but they don't work for you still. I'm sorry, dear. Sherry says she just finished her chocolate pistachio coffee with coconut oil in it. Sounds delicious. If you aren't an eggnog person, you won't love it. Tastes like my mom loved eggnog when I was growing up. She loved eggnog. I never I'm not even quite sure I know what it tastes like, to be honest with you. Morning, everybody. Delighted to see so many familiar names. Yes, I am so glad that all of you are here. John says the only thing is I kind of overdid it with all the lupini stuff this weekend. I wanted to try everything and now I have a lot of gas, some GI issues. I kind of get that way sometimes if I overdo like broccoli or cauliflower or something like that because, it just happens, I guess. Cindy, good morning. Good morning to you. Speaking of perfect keto electrolytes, Cindy sent me 2 tubs of their black cherry electrolytes because it's like my all-time favorite flavor. I mean, it's not a lot of sodium in there. It's not really like, I guess it's like if you're looking at the spectrum of electrolytes, you've got like element over here and you've got like prime down here because prime is like hardly an electrolyte at all. It's closer to this spectrum because it's like 200 milligrams of sodium per scoop or whatever. So versus like 200 versus 1,000 down here. So yeah, I mean that's like a gateway electrolyte, but I love it. It's so delicious, ridiculous. John says loves the eggnog keto chow. Make the 2KK custard with it, and it's quite good. Still haven't done that yet. Bacon seeds. I went to see a movie Thursday night with a couple of friends, and one of the friends, Jeremiah, was with me. We went to go see Rad, which is a 1986 movie about BMX racing in a small town. It was filmed in like Alberta, Canada. But it's a classic 80s movie. Soundtrack is amazing. The movie's ridiculous. It's got Lori Loughlin in it, Aunt Becky from Full House. Um, One of my favorite movies as a kid. We wore that VHS tape out, and then it just disappeared. You couldn't get it on VHS, or you couldn't get it on any streaming service for a long time, and then finally a couple of years ago it popped up, and I got it on Amazon Prime as a download, and so I have it. I bought it, and I've watched it a few times since, and then we went and saw it in theaters, and then after it was over, they had like a live stream type thing, but it was pre-recorded a couple of years ago with Bill, the main character, like his real name is Bill, and then the guy Bart, uh, who was like the villain or whatever, like the bad guy or whatever. But he wasn't really a bad guy. And then like the guy who was kind of brought it back from the dead, so to speak. So it was a lot of fun. And long story short, Jeremiah was wearing his bacon seed shirt, and it was really cool. He got it in like an army green color, and it really just like popped. It was pretty awesome. I'm working on more merch. Um, I just always kind of cool designs, trying to put out some cool stuff that you guys might enjoy. So be on the lookout for that, and I will try to let you guys know anytime there's sales coming up. I guess there's like a 20% off sale every month. So if you're interested in helping out the channel, if you're interested in all of that fun stuff, just keep an eye out. I'll let you guys know. Keep glued to that community tab or the Facebook page that I have, and you'll find it when I put that out there for everybody. Did any of y'all ever hear of boiled custard? In the South during Christmas holidays, the competitor to eggnog was boiled custard. It was awesome. Big seller here in Tennessee and Louisiana. I have not, but I will need to look it up and find out if that boiled custard is anything like boiled peanuts. Because you're in the South when you start seeing like crock pots of boiled peanuts at the gas station. Diane says, I had switched to decaf for sleep, and something Emmerich said at KPL made me look into the process for making it, and it's not good. Went back to caffeinated and sleeping like a baby. Yeah, the process of taking caffeine out of coffee is actually pretty brutal. Like, I guess decaf coffee can actually like give you heartburn if you don't normally have heartburn and all that stuff. So, yeah. Yeah. I don't have a problem sleeping. I have a problem with sleeping too much. I'll go and take naps and sleep for like 4 hours. So I don't know. I'm still waiting on that whole like, oh, I hardly sleep. I'm tired all the time. Maybe caffeine makes me sleepy. Evelyn says she has the baseball style, the three-quarter sleeves. Yeah, I like those. I've never really been a fan of those because then I want to pull it down all the time and it makes me feel weird. Someone had a crock of boiled peanuts at work a couple of weeks ago. They tasted like dirt. I've never tried them. And Cindy says she was looking at my merch yesterday. That they're just a company that a lot of people use because I know some bigger YouTubers use them, like Roberto Blake, who is he is a YouTuber who makes content for YouTubers. So strategies and um, talks about new things that YouTube is doing, implementing rules, guidelines, that type of stuff. He utilizes Spreadshirt, or I think that's what it's called. So, um, I mean, I wish it was more affordable. That's why I wouldn't buy anything unless there's the 20% off sale. I mean, you can get like Adidas hoodies through them and stuff like that. So you can get some pretty high quality shirts and such. Um, but you're going to pay for it. Unfortunately, I don't have the resources currently to print my own stuff or have an inventory of shirts and print them and whenever you guys want them and make my own merch. I would love to be able to do that. But the current setup that I have now, like you can get baby clothes and all kinds of stuff. So like if you have a baby, you can get them a bacon seed onesie, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think they're reputable because I mean, as far as I can tell, they're reputable. A lot of YouTubers utilize them. So I'm not quite sure. Boiled custard is packaged like eggnog in a carton. It pours easily thick but drinkable custard. I don't know how that sounds weird. I go to sleep around 9 o'clock and I'm up at 4:30 for work during the week. Getting up at 7:30 today was sleeping in. Like I was so we went to bed last night. Um we were in bed by 10 o'clock, I think. And Chandler was knocked out by 10:30. I was not quite ready to fall asleep yet, so I played around on my phone till about 11:30, and then I passed out, and I guess she woke up at midnight. So we're taking turns sleeping. Um, but yeah, like no, we have been watching this Coach Lasho show on Apple TV Plus, and I'm addicted to that show. I don't know what it is. Shannon thinks it's funny. It's like kind of like an after school special, but super positive. It kind of reminds me of me, like how positive he is. Annoyingly so to a degree. But yeah. I did have like you can see the merch back here, this whatever wherever it is. Yeah, right here. That's a different merch company that makes that one. But that's a friend of mine, but I don't know if they're doing anything right now. They have issues that they're going through. So I'm not quite sure. I was gonna go through them and have them do all of my merch, but they didn't have the time. I wanted to go through someone local. I wanted to go through someone who would be able to make the stuff, get it out ready, get it to go, and all that stuff. And I'm still looking, and maybe I will see if I can get a local person still, if they can keep up with the demand and all. I mean, dem- demand, but I just don't think any local person is going to be able to provide currently provide the like the baseball shirts and the different color shirts if you want white, blue, whatever you want. The company that I'm using now is a wide variety of things that I would not be able to, and most likely a local business wouldn't be able to provide either. So, um, yeah. So Maitreya is saying that disappointed because Perfect Keto killed off the super fat brand. Well, that was the weird thing. So the super fat brand was going to be or was their in-store brand. So right before everything kind of went south, they had started sending me new products or old products labeled as super fat. So I guess the grocery stores didn't like the idea of the brand being perfect keto. So what they were doing was rebranding certain items as super fat. They were going to put them in the stores. So that's I have some macaroni and cheese that's labeled super fat instead of perfect keto. And then I think that's kind of where it all started to go south. I think they put all their eggs in another kind of a basket they couldn't keep up with. They were supposed to be putting their mac and cheese in like Sprouts, and they were going to start working their way up to other grocery stores, from what I understand. But as far as everything that's happened after that, like even the idea of what they were doing with the super fat brand was still kind of in the dark. Like I was trying to ask my rep, and they weren't very clear or concise with their answers. And then my rep went off and got a new job. I got a new rep, and then I haven't heard from that rep more than once or twice, because the rep was like, "Oh, let me send you some more stuff." Sent me a box of stuff, and then I didn't hear from him ever again. And then all the stuff came out about them having all the issues. So I want to reach out. I've been trying to decide if I have an email kind of in my drafts to the CEO to see if he would come and sit down with me on a Saturday or anytime during the week. I would do a Saturday sit down with someone like a CEO from a company like that whenever they had the opportunity, whenever we could make it work. But yeah, they're a company that I was fully behind. Um, I thought they were a great company. I liked being an affiliate with them. They were fun. They put out products all the time. Um, but yeah, I guess it's just going to be what it is, I suppose. Yeah, but the nut butters and sprinkles and such are totally gone. Yeah, that's the thing, is I just don't know what they're going to be doing. I don't know. I think they're restructuring. They just haven't communicated with those of us who used to work with them. So I'm guessing that we just don't work with them anymore. I'm guessing but that's kind of weird that we didn't even get into kind of like anything. I don't even think I got like a W-2 or anything from them from the affiliate stuff. They never sent me a 1099 or anything like that. So I don't know. Maybe I could do a live trial of a new to me nut butters. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Um, yeah, yeah. That's the problem. I mean, I was thinking about doing like a video of like keto products that are gone that I liked, but then I'm like, I don't know, is there a market for that? Like there was a brand of cauliflower tater tots called Nolita. I really like them, and they're gone. Like Smart Cakes are gone. Shander like their chocolate chip muffins. They were expensive. I think you got 3 or 4 muffins for $10 at Fresh Time. There's been like a couple of different products that would pop up. We didn't even get a chance to like talk about. There was like a cookie, like um like a no bake cookie in the stores that Fresh Time had that was like made out of avocado, chocolate avocado. It was they were so good. They were fudgy, and they had that no bake consistency. They just disappeared. Um, so many just things have just kind of come and gone, and it like you just don't hear from 'em anymore. Like they're just gone. Um, there's a cookie company called Effin Good Cookies or something like that. And I had some of their cookies. We were going to do a review on them, but we just ended up eating them. And then I looked at their website, and they've only got these like take and bake cookies now. And I sent them a message on Instagram like, "Oh no, we're gonna have more stuff or whatever." But so I don't know. There's just a lot of things like becoming a company or growing a company like that is so difficult. That's why it's so important that when a company comes out and provides something that you like, you do your best to support it. I mean, that's why like I stand behind Keto Chow. and I stand behind Fahad over at KG Foods. I was a big person about perfect keto because those companies they struggle. Like I just put another order in at KG Foods for 5 more jars of their cocoa zen. So we've ordered so many of those already, like almost a problem because it's so good. Like, so I think he initially sent us one to try. We liked it. We ordered 3 more. We went through those. We ordered 5, and he sent us 6, and now I just put another order in for another 5. So, yeah. And he did have to raise the prices, unfortunately. I think they're $13 a jar now, which they were $11 a jar. But if you're ordering for the first time from me, you get like 10% off. So that'll be at least a decent discount. I think it's 10%. But yeah, like just that's why I do try to make sure to promote these companies that come out that provide products that we like, because without that, they just disappear. It's so hard for them to succeed. Or unfortunately, one thing that happens is brands that get swept up by and bought by other companies. And we've seen that with brands like Primal Kitchen. Primal Kitchen got bought by Kraft, I believe, and they have changed some of the formulas of their products. Now, I understand that the initial run or the initial formula of the initial run of the buffalo sauce that I really liked from them that Costco had cashew in it, had cashew butter in it. And I guess when Kraft took it over, they switched out the formula, removed the cashew butter because it was too much of a risk for nut allergies. What I understand, but now they've reformulated it and it's got potato starch in it. So, and I don't have a CGM to see if that's going to impact me or anything like that. Not that I'm too worried about potatoes, like, and it's probably a tiny amount, but it's definitely something to think about when you're looking at a product that you like, and then you've been purchasing it, then you buy it, and then it's different. And they don't say, "Hey, now with potato starch." They don't say that stuff. Evelyn, it's kind of like a Nutella, but without it's basically Nutella without hazelnuts in it. We have a video on it. Let me see if I can pull up the information here real quick. And you can buy it on Amazon or you can buy it directly through KG Foods. I have a discount code through KG Foods. I do have an Amazon affiliate link, but that doesn't really give you a discount. And you get free shipping through KG Foods. So let me go ahead and bring this up here. So you can see it's basically just a decadent chocolate spread. And I'll read you the ingredients. So the ingredients are not bad. They are blanched almonds, erythritol, cocoa powder, palm oil shortening, whey protein isolate, MCT oil, soy lecithin, guar gum, xanthan gum. Contains less than 1% of vanilla, salt, and monk fruit extract. Made in Napa Valley. So they make this local. It's a made in the USA product. Um, it's very delicious. Probably too much so. Um, but yeah, I brought a jar to the meetup, and I think Danny, you're the only one who tried it. Yeah, I think you're the only one that actually tried it, Danny. So Jeremiah is here. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Jeremiah. I was just telling them about how we went to Saul Rad the other night and how much fun that was. Maitreya says, "Yeah, when Schoolyard Snacks got bought, they're amazing product. I didn't like Schoolyard Snacks. I tried them early on. Somebody had reached out and sent me some because they didn't like it. So I met them in like a parking lot somewhere, and they gave me a box of their stuff. And like, and I and maybe and I well, we tried the cereal and it was not that great. And then I did try the puffs, like the cheese puffs, like the cheese doodles or whatever you want to call them. I like those, but they were expensive and very, very difficult to find outside like at a store. You could order them on Amazon, but not quite the same. But yeah, uh, I was hoping that more people would get a chance to try it at the meetup. I brought the whole jar, but I was just trying to find like I didn't get enough spoons, and I don't think people know that that's what that was for. It was just difficult because it was just a jar. I didn't have any way of kind of divvying it out or like making smaller portions. But you know, yeah, it's a good product, and we order it a lot. So that's definitely one that we stand behind. It keeps Chandra happy because it's chocolate and it's smooth and it's creamy. I might try to see if I can incorporate it with a recipe or two here or there. I don't know. We'll see maybe as a spread, maybe spread it on some chaffles or something like that. Maybe make some vanilla chaffles and spread it over that and see how that turns out. Ooh, that might be good. Might be good with some butter in that. Ooh. Yeah. So, yeah. But yeah, I really like it. I mean, it's definitely not going to be something that everybody likes, or definitely that it could be a trigger for some people, just like any of these keto products. Keto products are for who they're intended for. People who like to have that can control themselves to a degree. I know that we have difficulties controlling ourselves with certain items, so we're very particular on what we do bring into the house. And because for us, food control is the hardest part for Shannon and I, food control. So we don't bring things into the house that we definitely, but then we bring something like Coco's in, but that's good and it's not that bad. And I mean, a few spoonfuls and you're good to go. Um, we need to get you, a sleeve of little. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think, yeah, that I have a few of them that we use because I use them for the girl. Um, we got them for her, like just a, yeah. I would though. I wonder if maybe the next meetup I will talk to Fahad about maybe seeing if we can get some single like do something like that. It doesn't have to be I'll order some or maybe have him send us some and I will try to divvy it out into little cups and have those little baby spoons. Little baby spoons. You have yet to make a chaffle? Keep saying that I'm gonna make some chaffles and I never do. Do you have a chaffle maker? If you don't, I know someone with an Amazon affiliate link that could help you get some of those. I still want to get myself one of those 4-people chaffle, the 4 chaffle irons. Yeah, I'm just the guy that knows that I have an Amazon affiliate link. Anyway, I have an Amazon affiliate account, and anything you need to buy from Amazon, if you don't already have your own Amazon affiliate account, all you have to do is click any link that I have for an Amazon affiliate, any Amazon link that I post in my descriptions, and you can buy whatever you want, whatever you're looking for. It doesn't have to be what you click on, and I get like literally like 10 cents, 3 cents. I think in 3 years I've made 15 bucks. So, it's kind of like a fool's errand to promote it, but if everybody used it, then I might make 20 bucks. Yeah, so we'll definitely get together on that because I want everybody to try it. So I'll reach out to Fahad, let him know that in May, we're doing a meetup, and I will do my best to get um some. I'll just do what I can to get little serving cups, and we'll make it happen because I want everybody to try it because it's so good. And he will definitely work with us on that because he's a great guy. You can get mini spoons at GFS. I was just there Friday. I got some. Okay, so GFS has hot dogs. They have like all beef hot dogs. They're like 1 gram of carb per hot dog. And sometimes I like those. I enjoy their all beef hot dogs. But sometimes I want the cheap, the cheap poor hot dogs. And they have hot dogs that are like 3 grams of carbs, but they're quarter-pound hot dogs. So there's four hot dogs in a pound, and they're 3 carbs each. So they're not the best. They're not the cleanest, but they taste like hot dogs. And I know that that's the weirdest thing, but I grew up poor, and I grew up a lot. I grew up on poor hot dogs, and I just have. It's like sometimes you just want a bologna sandwich. And I know you can get like boar's head bologna, but that's not the same. I like Eckrich bologna. You know, it's just weird. Like sometimes, like on a Friday night, sometimes I'll be at the grocery store and I'll pick up like one of those little stupid loaves of Walmart keto bread and a thing of bologna and have bologna sandwiches. I don't know why, but it's just one of those things that just it's like definitely like a comfort thing because it takes you back. It takes you back to a time when things were less complicated, like being a kid and just watching TV. I don't know. I'm a weird person. I may try the KG stuff. I can't remember what I didn't like about it. Tell him to make squeeze pouches with an easy tear top so that I can eat while cycling and not have to stop. I can let him know. Definitely let him know that that's a thing that people are interested in. Um, I just don't know like how the manufacturing of that would be and like what the price points would be because I know he's got the little cups and they're expensive. So like things come in like their own little 1 ounce cups and they're expensive. And we've had them on our channel. We've done reviews of those. We've done reviews of the Cocoa Zen. So if you take a look at the videos that we have, there are a few different keto or KG foods. It used to be Keto Geek. Now it's KG foods. But if you take a look at that, some of those things are like a box of the chocolate Nova stuff is like $80, 60, $70, I think, for 8 pods. So it's definitely pricey. So when we were reviewing it and we were talking about these little bitty cups, and we were like looking in the camera, like just make a big jar of this stuff, and that's what he did for us. Now it's scaled down, and it's doesn't. I mean, it's not the same quality as the same quality chocolate as like the Nova, which was like some super bougie chocolate that's ground for like 72 hours and it's super duper decadently smooth. And yeah, it's super bougie. And it's delicious, like super delicious, you know. But, he made so I mean, a company that listens to what I have to say, what Chandra had to say, and made a product based around that, I'm gonna promote it. I mean, I just happened to see it right at the end, and I was like, "I have to try that." I got a heaping spoonful and made a mess in my beard, down my shirt, and on the floor. Because I saw that only one person had tried it, 'cause there was only, like, 1 spoonful taken out of it. I was a little bummed about that, but I was, not bummed that I had to bring it home and eat the rest of it. That is a problem with it because it is a big container. You can if you sit down on the couch with it with a spoon, it disappears very quickly. So do keep that in mind. Don't say I didn't warn you. It is delicious, it's smooth, and I like it in the fridge. Pull it out, it's a little, like, stiff, it's pretty good. Matreya says people equals 1 nerd. You know what? That's fine, because he made a whole product line based on what Shannon and I said. And maybe he received other responses too, but I'm going with he did it because of us. Yeah, I mean, like, how do you feel like do you like the macadamia nut butters and other things like that? Like almond, macadamia nut? Does that mean that maybe something he could look into? Maybe looking at the little pouches instead of the cups? I don't know if those are cheaper, because if he did the pouches, the easy tear pouches, then he doesn't have to include little paper spoons and things like that. It could truly be on the go then. You won't need a spoon. Because like the energy pods or whatever he calls them come with these little paper spoons. And while convenient, I think they color the flavor in a negative way to us, at least to us. You can taste the paper. It's like if you had like a soda or something in a paper cup, and you get like how McDonald's used to use paper cups, and then you have the ice in the bottom of the cup, and then after a while, the water that's left over kind of has that papery cup taste to it. Yeah, that's just kind of how that it colors the flavor that way. So that was something that I wasn't necessarily too keen on. But, you know, I guess what we could talk about though, and I don't have Shauna in the chat today. I don't have Shauna in the chat today telling me exactly how long we have, but let me see here. Let's see what's the date there. 200 days until Keto Palooza. Can you believe it? 200 days till Keto Palooza. Yes, Keto Palooza. Well, 201 days to the official start date of Keto Palooza, October the 11th. It is 200 days till October the 10th. 200 days till October the 10th. I will be there October the 10th hanging out. Hopefully, you all will be there joining me as well. Ketopalooza 2024. Get your tickets now. Links in the description below. You get $20 off your ticket, I believe, utilizing one of the two discount codes in the description. They belong to Dr. Barry or to Crazy Ketos. I do not have one. I do not receive any financial compensation whatsoever for this promotion for Keto Palooza. It's just something that I'm doing because I want to make sure that all of you are there hanging out with me. Now, I know that most of you are probably already on your way, have your tickets, counting the days, the seconds like me. I'm excited. Yeah, send that to me and let me see what he may be able to do. Yeah, that would definitely be something because if Superfast isn't doing what they're doing anymore, and there's a definite market for that now, because I think they have like coconut and stuff in theirs, and yeah, Mary is here. I'm so glad I got to see you last week. Such good hugs. I am so super glad. I'm here in spirit, but not in mind. Finishing up at work this morning at 4 with only 2 hours of sleep. So I'm listening. Thank you for being here. Truly appreciative that you will come in here. I hope that Joe is good. I'm so glad I got to see Joe, even though he was more excited to hang out with Noah. But looking at the photos from last week, he was having a good time. He was partying. He was partying harder than anybody else. So if you want to party, invite Joe. If you're trying to have a party and you're having people over, invite Joe. He'll bring the party. 100%. What time do I think I'll be getting there Thursday? I may take off work or head out after work. I'm planning to be there probably around check-in, probably. I don't know. I think check-in's at like 3 o'clock. So between 3 and 4, get there, get checked in, get everything out of the car, up to the room, relax, hang out, see if anybody's who wants to hang out. Um I know that Maitreya is going to be there. She's going to have her suite open to everybody. Um I know there's going to be some other people there on Thursday. I think Shauna is going to be there. I'll probably just have people meet up at the little, the atrium and hang out and see who's there. Um, so I figure I'm going to go ahead and say I don't know what time we're doing dinner. I don't know what time dinner is that night, but I will be there between 3 and 4. That'll include me checking in, getting one of those little bellhop doodad things, cart things to bring the stuff up from the basement parking garage. Um, so I think you can go up and unload all that stuff at the curbside and then go park or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Does valet cost more than like self parking? I don't know. I have to look and see. Maybe call them and ask him because if valet is more expensive, then I might as well do valet and then just have my stuff taken out of the car right there instead of going all the way down to the basement and bringing it up that way because that's a long haul to do that. So yeah, it is better than to take everything down to the car and not at valet because then, especially when you're leaving, because I like to get all checked out and everything before things start for the final day, and then that way when everything's done, I can leave, get in the car, and go home. Mary says, "I think Noah took Joe hostage." Joe is one of my favorite people that I've met so far in this whole thing. I mean, I've met so many amazing people and I love each and every one of you, but there are just certain people that do stand out. Joe is one of those people that stands out. He's a lot of fun. He's always in a good mood. Um, Sherry's going to be there on Thursday. We're partying. Who's buying shots? Let's go. But yeah, I just have to make sure that we're always talking about this because I know as soon as she announces the speakers, tickets will go even faster because then they'll start pushing this out to their people. Their people will be buying it. Hopefully, we'll get some new people in. We can make new friends. We can, all this is going to be a lot of fun. Super excited. As always, presented by the Keto Chow. I wish there was a countdown of how many tickets were left, but that would probably take, you know, that would probably take some time to get it all taken care of. But anyway, Evelyn and Carl will be there Thursday. All right. Soon as I'm checked in and unloaded for KPL, we'll put on an urn of coffee and publish my room number. Charcuterie available. Charcuterie. Maybe, well, I mean, Keto Palooza is a long way away, but I will probably try and see about getting some kind of, maybe I'll even bring some of the KG food stuff. Let them know what we've got going on and that there's a lot of people going to be there. And maybe he'll send stuff to try, even maybe some of the energy pods and such. So my understanding about parking is that last year we got a discount on parking in the hotel because of Keto Palooza. It was $15. That was the discounted parking rate, $15 a night. This time around, there is no discounted rate for parking, and I believe parking is $30 a night. So if you are going to be there 3 nights, that's $90. So $90. So it's definitely something to account for. It is kind of becoming, unfortunately, industry standard across hotels that have parking garages and such, or valet. I don't know if valet is a different charge. If anybody has any of that information, let me know. And maybe I will bring that up I'll ask Autumn today because I believe Autumn will be going live today as well. I'm going to check that now. Yes, they will be going live at 9:30 today. They'll be going live in 69 minutes because we've only been talking for less than an hour. So we usually talk for about 2 hours. Yes, a countdown like the one that how much keto chow is left, which makes perfect sense. But yeah, I think just kind of an idea, at least a slide counter, like how I think we're like half tickets are gone already. The early bird tickets were gone in like 24 hours. So I was glad that I bought like I got up at like 2 a.m. and bought tickets because I'm a nerd and I'm excited. 200 days. 200 days. But yeah, so definitely keep an understanding that parking. Yeah. So if you're staying at the Galt House, parking is dumb. But I mean, really, I parked and didn't have to touch my car the whole weekend. The only thing I had to do was go down and I forgot my hoodie, and I went and got a hoodie because it was freezing in the conference room. I would rather them keep the conference room colder or the presentation room cold and then have to wear a hoodie instead of it being hot and only being able to get down to a row in there with my guns out. Diane Bailey's going to be there to party Thursday night. All right, we're going to party. I like the atrium. It's fun. They've got all those chairs and places to hang out. They're comfortable. It's a lot of fun. And it was fun because last year, if you didn't go, I think it was Saturday night. There was something going on, and like there was people sitting at the entrance from the East Tower into the atrium, and people were like cheering for everybody that came in, like cheering like you just won the Super Bowl. And that was like you just walk in like, yeah. It made a man feel good about himself. I don't know about you, but every once in a while, I don't always feel so great about myself. And I'm sure that that's normal. But when you walk into a room and people that you don't know cheering for you, and I know they're just doing it to everybody, but it's still like, it was weird, but I enjoyed it. It was loud though. My mom lives in Madison, Indiana. I know that because my kids tried to get eaten by a tornado in Madison, Indiana last week. Lives in Madison, Indiana. Going to check price of getting an Uber or something from there to see how that compares to parking. That is a good idea. Or like we just all meet at your mom's house and we take an Uber pool, like get like an Uber van or something, and all ride down at the same time. I mean, the only downside to that is where do you put your stuff on Sunday when you've checked out and you have nowhere to put your stuff? Because like you check out by 11 and then everything's going till 4. And I mean, I know I hung around till 4 or 5 just talking to people, carrying around a cup of bacon. So definitely things to keep in mind. Or I mean, if it's on the way, maybe if you guys are able to do it, then maybe I will pack up my car and then I could pick you guys up at your mom's house and we all ride together and split the cost of parking. However you want to do it. However you want to do it. Chris Cook in Nashville is here. Welcome, sir. Thank you so much for being here. Snacks among friends are always good. I concur. I like snacks. I like coffee, snacks. It seems like your pancakes are a hit with people, sir. I think that um, Cindy released a video just a couple of days ago. I think it was a couple of days ago where she made your recipe. They look fantastic. I have yet to make those. I don't think I have all the ingredients to do it. But something about a nice stack of fluffy pancakes with too much butter and some syrup sounds amazing. See, look. Yes, pancakes are amazing. Oh, that's a good question. Chris, do you have a carnivore biscuit recipe? Ooh, biscuits. Like one of them, like one of those Popeyes biscuits that just sucks all the everything and you can't breathe. One of them kind of biscuits. Just watch the pancake video. That's the thing is like you can make keto biscuits and all that kind of stuff. You can make all those things, but they just don't have that. They just don't have the biscuitness to it. Like thinking about like Hardee's breakfast sandwiches with the biscuits, or like I don't think I've ever had a Popeyes biscuit. I just know about that they're like they'll just suck all the moisture out of your face. Maitreya says, "Yeah, I look forward to trying the pancakes." Ooh, pancakes. Good morning, Stacy. I hope you and Ken are doing wonderful this morning. I will sing to you. I was looking at photos of last week, and you and Ken were in them. Cindy says, when Brian tried them, his response was, "No, those are pancakes." I love Brian. Let's see. He says, not yet, but working on it. Biscuits are very tough to imitate. Definitely not giving up. And as somebody who does make content, I know I commented on I think I commented on his pancake video. As somebody who makes content and cooking content as well, not as much as I did in the beginning, but making cooking videos and making sure the recipe's right and making sure that it turns out right and looks good and your presentation is good. And him making recipes, like carnivore recipes that can stack up to regular pancakes, you can see the level of work that goes into what he does. You can see the preparation, the attention to detail, the trial and error that he's probably gone through. I'm a person, most of my videos, that was the first time I've tried making it. It's just how it is for me. I don't put nearly as much work into my recipes as he does. And it shows because his recipes are celebrated all across our niche on the internet. From, Keto Twins and didn't Wes even make something of yours? Wes over at Highfalutin Low Carb. I know that your stuff is being made all across by celebrated big time YouTubers. So it's amazing. You do an amazing job, and I'm glad that you're here hanging out with us. Stacy says that they are doing well and on their way to church. Well, I hope you have safe travels and enjoy your day at church and anything you do after. Mm. Oh. I have a day today. So we're doing family dinner tonight. And so I asked the kids, what do you guys want for dinner? And they're not keto. I mean, one of our kid is kind of flip-floppy keto. The others are just not. And I asked them what do they want for dinner. And they were like, some people said they wanted homemade pizza, and some they said they wanted walking tacos. Walking tacos, I'm like, okay, we can do that. And then I put up a poll. So we have like a group chat through Facebook Messenger. We actually have two because it got to the point where one of them is basically just pictures of our granddaughter and random memes and stuff. So the kids don't pay attention to it as close. So I had to create another one that has no pictures, nothing, just actual information. So like if we're having something important going on, then I can put it in that, and hopefully I understand that they will read it. They'll be more likely to take a look and see what that says because it actually has something going on. And so on that one, I put in, we're having family dinner tonight. What do you guys want? Put a poll in, and I said walking tacos, homemade pizza, or water soup. And water soup was kind of the winner because Shannon and I both voted on water soup because water soup is really cheap and it's actually pretty easy and it's carnivore. And yeah, I mean, you just need 5 quarts of water and heat and you stir it and add more water where needed. If it gets too thick, just add more water. Yeah. I don't think the kids like the water soup. So I guess we're having walking tacos. So I've got to go to the store and get some things to make walking tacos. I already have plenty of the ground beef in the house. So I'll make that. I may get some sausage and stuff to go in that to make it like, well, maybe no, I won't do that. I was gonna maybe make like chili, but I'll just make ground beef for the walking tacos, and then they can put their toppings on it as they wish. But they want walking tacos, so I've got to get like little, like go and get the little 50-cent bags or whatever of Fritos for them. And I don't know what I'll get for us. Maybe I'll get some pork rinds or something. I don't know. Pancakes make people happy. They just do. Now, I wonder what that pancake batter does in a chaffle maker. Any of you out there want to try it and see? Like I said, I don't think I have all the ingredients. I'd have to look up what the ingredients are and see if I can even get what he uses at the store and not order it or whatever. But I wonder how they would turn out in a chaffle maker. Might be delicious. Ah, Cindy says she'll try that. 'Cause I have, like, the little, like, pancake griddle ones. I have, like, the Dash Minis, I have the regular ones, I've got the spider webs, I think I've got some other ones up there too. I don't know if I actually ever got the griddle ones or not. Like, the ones with, like, the grill lines, I don't think I have those. That's why Shannon gets upset because I don't know what I have, and then I try to buy more stuff. What are you gonna do? But, yeah. So, how was everybody's week? I had a pretty decent week. Like I said, we went to go see Rad. That was a lot of fun Thursday night. Chandra doesn't like the movie because it's just not her cup of tea. It is very cheesy 80s, very, very cheesy 80s. I mean, it came out in 86. Um, and I mean, you can tell that it's like stunt people doing it all and like the people doing it. And there's like backflips and stuff. I mean, it's not as cheesy as say like the Dirt Bike Kid or whatever, but I have a big griddle that I use for pancakes and just made them twice now. I'm just curious to see how they would turn out in that. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how that does and if you like them. Like chaffle, like the pancake batter in a chaffle maker cuz that would probably be pretty good. I mean, I'm sure they'd make decent like decent waffles. I can't remember what's all in them and I don't know if they would crisp up or not, but you never know. Ah. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think back the rest of the week. What did we do? We did our live on Tuesday where we talked about the fact that the weird stuff happened, but nothing else has seemed to really happen out of that. So I'm not too concerned about it. It's just weird that that kind of stuff can happen on the internet where somebody can like impersonate you in a live and comment with your names on it or whatever. Um, you know, you know. Chris says, "Thanks, buddy. My Sundays at work are better hanging out with y'all here. Yeah, Wes did a couple, Keto Twins, and some others. I mean, it is a wonderful, wonderful community, and I mean, it's awesome because you get to see people kind of come out of nowhere and do great things and grow their channels and add to the community, and it's just it's such a great thing. Yeah, and hopefully you can make it to Keto Palooza. I know it's kind of a difficult thing for a lot of people because it kind of gets pricey. You add in a hotel room and the cost of the tickets, and it's definitely like vacation money. I mean, for me, Shayna doesn't go because she works weekends every weekend, and so she's not necessarily. I don't know how she would do in a situation like that, 3 days with just people the whole time. I don't know. I think her social battery would run down way, way fast. And she'd just kind of disappear for hours at a time. But um, man, it's just not her. She's not the most social in person type person. She'll go out to dinner with people, and we go out to dinner, but it's few and far between. And we do lives and such. But you know, she's not as social as me, and that's okay. I mean, even that was something that when we first started dating, it's like when we first started dating was one of the things that was a difficult transition for me is because when we first started dating, I was going out all the time. I was hanging out with friends and we would just go out every weekend. And that was a thing that I had done for so long where, right out of high school into college, she like has her first kid and then ended with three kids and then I get together with her after her divorce and I come into three teenagers and I have to change, I mean, obviously because I want to do it. It's a difficult transition to make coming out of a lifestyle where I did whatever I wanted into a relationship where you have to put, like basically a wife and kids first kind of out of nowhere. It's a difficult transition and it was a bumpy road and we had issues but I mean obviously we've over the last 12 years, we've been able to, well, almost 13 years now, been able to work through that and become strong. And it's great. But it was definitely a huge transition for me coming out of basically an extended adolescence because I didn't have kids of my own and I was just out doing whatever I wanted to do. I took care of my mom and grandma and all that stuff. So yeah. And Chris says that the pancakes work great in a chaffle format based on pictures sent to me since I don't own a waffle iron. I just got to leave the batter a little thicker. Yeah, yeah. That's I don't I we had a waffle iron. I don't know whatever happened to the full size one. I got to sneeze. Excuse me. We had a full size waffle iron. It's probably under the cabinet somewhere. I just under a pot or a pan somewhere deep buried behind there. I just haven't seen it. Um, but we've got all the little chaffle makers. So I did at one point was making full size waffles at the very beginning before kind of the Dash Minis were really a thing. And I would make, keto waffles and stuff, and they were just too big. So that's where I just think the idea of the chaffles are so the only downside of the chaffle like is like eating it like a waffle. They just get cold so fast. I mean, that was a problem with like Eggos and stuff too. So that's where like the bigger waffles, they will stay hot longer than the little thin ones. But definitely something to consider. And maybe I will if I do try the recipe, maybe I will just make chaffles out of it and see how it turns out and share it with the world. We'll see. I've got a bunch of other stuff planned before that. I'm going to make chicken nuggets today. Hopefully, they turn out the way I want them to. My plan is that they turn out in the same or in line with McDonald's nuggets, or at least a batter dip nugget of some. That's what I want to do. So we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else happened during the week. So Shannon and I went live. I didn't do a Wednesday live. Um, I feel bad about that because I like doing like the short form lives. They're long, but they're like the vertical. So they're like a short form, like a shorts format, but long, where I can talk to people. I like that because it opens up the opportunity for people that aren't necessarily in our community, that aren't necessarily getting pop ups for this type of content, can stumble across our content and become a part of our community. You never know who is struggling and doesn't know where to look or doesn't even know that they're looking to begin with and can come across our kind of content and it could change someone's life and help them. I mean, that's a humbling type thought that doing what we do, what Chris does, what I do, Cindy, Maitreya, what Stacy does, anybody who has a channel out there that's putting in the work, putting out the content, interacting and growing with the community and doing what we do basically as a selfless act here to try and hopefully be a beacon for others that don't even know that don't even know that this is an option. I know that almost everybody and their mom at this point knows about low carb and keto, but they don't necessarily know the true impacts. They may just think of it's weight loss, but they may not be aware of all the non-scale victories that come along with a lifestyle change like this, where I've experienced, just overwhelming positive outcomes outside of weight loss. Weight loss is kind of why you got here, but then what keeps you? Why do you stay? And that's, I think, where this community strives and does such wonderful things, because we do outline and showcase not only how to eat, what you can make, pushing the boundaries of what's possible, like Chris, um, and just sharing our stories. Someone like Cindy having anybody, Cindy and Sana having all kinds of people on that share their stories. Me trying to do the same thing on Saturdays and trying to have people on to share their story, so that hopefully maybe somebody will come across that and go, I've been dealing with that. And I thought I was the only one. Because a lot of us think we're the only one dealing with this stuff, because unfortunately we're in a society where we do not feel comfortable or feel good about talking about things that bother us, because there's always a lot of pushback. It seems like you can talk about a lot of different things, but personal stuff, the struggles that you have, they don't always seem to resonate with people, or you just feel you don't feel okay sharing it. You feel embarrassed. And I'm an open book. I'll tell you everything. I'll tell you all the deepest, darkest, grossest things that I've had to deal with, being a big person. Because if you are a person that's been 400 plus pounds, there's a lot of things involved with being over 400 pounds that the average person will look at you and have no idea. They just see somebody and they think, man, I wish they'd eat less. But there's so much more to it than that. There's so much more. There's the daily struggles. Not only are you trying to find clothes, you're trying to find whatever, right? Um, you're trying to, like, making it to the bathroom on time. That was a constant struggle for me at one point, where I was going to the bathroom 6, 7, 8 times a day, and it was almost always a photo finish. And that's not where you want to be like, just made it. You don't want that. That's not a life you want to live. Trust me. And Cindy says, tune in to her and Sana live Friday night with Chris Cook in Nashville. That'll be a show worth watching. That'll be something super awesome. Hopefully, I'll get him to sit down with me sometime. We'll get that worked out. I haven't been booking anybody from what I already have, simply because I do not know if I'll be getting a job at Costco or not. I did put an application in, but I've not heard anything back from them yet. So I'll be looking for other opportunities possibly. And I'll be reaching out to them as well to see, following up and all that stuff. But I don't want to go ahead and make a bunch of appointments or set up lives that I have to then move around or cancel or all that stuff. So that's kind of where I'm at now. What I have, and then we will work from there going forward. I'll probably be reaching out to Costco in the morning sometime. So, and I don't know, maybe I will start doing DoorDash again and see how that works out, because I know that Jackie's been doing DoorDash. She was sending me pictures yesterday from some of the orders that she had picked up. So it might seem to be something that might be working out better now. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Um, you know, so what else is going on, everybody? There are like 38 of you in here watching right now, and I think you all fell asleep. I think I've talked you to sleep. Yeah. Good time Friday night. Good time Friday night. It's gonna be TGIF. Which one of you is gonna be Uncle Jesse? Oh. Maitreya says, I don't have an audience big enough to have guests. I would like to have a summer duo stream cooking outside on the Blackstone. Could be hilarious. The thing is, Maitreya, if you stream it, they will come. I didn't think I had an audience big enough to warrant having a Sunday morning coffee time at 7:30 a.m. on a Sunday morning, yet here we are. It's ludicrous to think that people want to be up this early and hang out with you. It's ludicrous to think that anybody wants to come and hang out when you're talking with somebody. You figure that they don't want to see you, they want to see the person you're talking with, but they show up and they interact and they have a good time. And I think you do have a big enough audience. I do think you have something wonderful to offer. You have your perspective. You have questions that only you could ask the people. And I think it would be wonderful if you did sit down and talk with people. I would watch. Diane says, just finished breakfast. Think I need another cup of coffee. I agree. Evelyn says, getting ready for church. Yeah. So with the StreamYard, like you can set it up and stream to I think the way mine is set up, I can stream to 3 things, and then the guest I have can stream to 2. So like right now, I'm streaming to the Facebook group or the Facebook page that I have, YouTube and Twitter, and on and a guest. If I were to bring a guest in, they could then set it up and stream to 2 places as well. So, and Maitreya says, nah, just making some scrambled eggs, making extra to use for tonight's coffee talk. And what are you making tonight, Maitreya? I need to clean out my work van. And I want to work on getting the pool ready and make a stone walkway to it, but I also just want to sit on the couch all day. I feel you. I feel that 100 and 1,000%. Cindy says, I always have an issue trying to stream to Facebook. So some reason, like Saturday mornings don't work. Like Saturday morning talks I have, for some reason, they don't. They fail on Saturdays, but Sundays they don't fail. It's weird. I don't know why. It's just the way it is. Dustin is here. Good morning, Dustin. You made it a little late, but that's okay. We're going to be talking for a while. As long as, people are here having a good time, we'll continue to talk. Fried cauli rice bowls. Delicious. Sounds amazing. And I have some ridiculousness to share too. Thanks, TikTok. That reminds me of so when Vine was a thing, there was a creator, and I can't think of what his name is right now, but he had it. So Vine was like 6-second videos, so super duper short. And he was like, oh, his name is Nicholas. He was like, yo, my name is Nicholas, and this is ridiculous. Got mad gummy money, and it is deliciousness. I don't know why that stuck in my head, and it's been there for years. Vine's been gone for a long time, but yet here we are, and you're welcome. Yes, good morning. I'm glad that you guys are all here. If you're listening on Twitter, comment and let me know. I think it does show up. I'm caught up on comments, so if you comment on the Twitter side of things, I will see it. I don't know if there's anybody watching on Twitter. I can go over and look and see. And Maitreya sent me the super fat pouch stuff, so I will send that over to our friend. And I'm going to see if there should be some people watching here. $22 people watching on the Twitter side. So if you're watching on Twitter, comment. Let me know who you are. Let me know you're watching. It's pretty amazing that there's 22 of you on Twitter. That's amazing. Thank you all so very much. I'm trying to see if I don't even know if I can see the chats in here. So yeah. I'm live over on Twitter, but I don't see any chats. So I don't know if there's any coming through or not, but there are 22 people watching. So if you're on the Twitter side, ask questions, let me know you're here. Say hello. I would appreciate that very much. Same thing if you're watching over on the Facebook side, because I know I see people when they comment here on Facebook. It doesn't show up in the chat for all of you to see on the YouTube side, but then I can put it up on the screen for you all to see. The same thing over on Twitter. Anything I put up on the screen, anything you guys send over, I will put up on the screen if it comes through on my side. But yeah, so let's see. Cindy's explaining to Chris how to do that. If you haven't done that before, sometimes it takes 24 hours for StreamYard to do so. I'm streaming with Anita and Ketogenic Woman this afternoon, evening, but I'll jump on that once I'm through with that one. Vine and Meerkat. Yeah. Vine was such short lived. I never made a Vine or anything like that. I wasn't into that stuff. It just kind of came and went too quick. But I know people were super into Vines. And I think that Vines were kind of they were just too short, I think. And I think there's a way to play around with like TikToks and YouTube shorts. And that's one thing I try to make. Like if I do make a YouTube short, I do try to make something that's compelling or drives engagement to the channel as a whole. Um, you know, that's what I try to do because that's what we're here for. To drive engagement, grow the community, help as many people as we can, hang out, have a good time, get to know each other because you guys are all awesome. And those of you I haven't met in person, I hope to meet sometime in the near future, like at Keto Palooza. We've already talked about that today, but for those who don't know, Keto Palooza is coming up in just 200 days. So get your tickets. Description down below, you'll find them. They are there. And if you're on another platform, they're in the description on YouTube. So check out, pop over to YouTube, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Keep watch on this channel and all that fun stuff. So, yeah, like I said, there are 22 people watching on YouTube or on Twitter. There's people like 36 people watching between YouTube and Facebook. Thank you all so very much. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Oh, I remember Periscope. Yeah, Periscope was kind of like going live. You went live with Periscope. I remember Periscope very briefly. And I think it's kind of cool that all these have kind of come into play. And like, I like the fact that there's a multitude of different platforms where people can create content, reach different people, because you're going to reach different audiences. You know, there's people who are going to who use TikTok who have no desire to go over to Facebook or no desire to use YouTube. I mean, because you got people that don't like Facebook, they don't have a Facebook, who utilize YouTube. There's people who watch YouTube more than they watch any other TV. There are people who watch YouTube who don't have Netflix, all that fun stuff. So it is definitely something that is humbling to know that this platform draws in people that Netflix can't draw in, that HBO doesn't draw in, or whatever. People are willing to spend their time and watch your content and try your recipes and interact in your live, and it's amazing. This is truly, truly an amazing, amazing platform, and I'm truly glad to be a part of it. Um, I I have TikTok followers and no content. I have content on TikTok, but I haven't uploaded anything in a long time. At first, I was really I the first time because I've had two different TikTok accounts of the Keto Simple variety. The first one was just at Keto Simple, and then I had something happen to my phone, and I had to restart basically do a factory reset of my phone. And when I went back to try to get into TikTok, I couldn't. So I had to create a whole new account. And that's the one, the Keto Simple underscore. That's the one that has the most followers, content, all of that. So that's the one that I have now because I just could never get into the other one. Couldn't get anybody at TikTok to reach out to me or help me or anything like that. So, and I was really into it at first because there was like a month where I had 100,000 views on TikTok in a month. That was crazy, super crazy. And I was seeing engagement on the first time I had the TikTok with the first username. I was seeing I would put a video up and then I would see my subscriber count go up on YouTube. And I think there was kind of a correlation, not necessarily causation there, but that I didn't see quite the same over when I had to create the second username. So I don't know. But I just think, the idea that there are other platforms like, with being able to put content up on Instagram and TikTok and various styles of content here on YouTube, being able to go live, drop, full length videos, short videos. I think, and I've talked about this before. There are people who don't like shorts. There's people who don't like lives. People who only watch your regular long form content. People who only come into your lives. They don't watch anything else. They just want to interact. That does make it complicated to a degree for a creator, but that's what we're here for. And I will make content. And like I said, like if I'm making a couple of shorts and you're not into shorts, well, then that's not for you. Or if I'm going live and you're not a big fan of the lives you want to watch, then that's not for you. Or if however it is, I try to make content that can reach the most and help the most people. And that's going to take everything that we have access to, everything we have at our disposal. Um, you know, Maitreya says, pretty certain that followers are 100% unrelated to keto. I have a finely tuned TikTok. It's super gay. That's the thing about TikTok is you can really dial in your algorithm and only get specific videos that you like. That's the one thing I think where TikTok has the advantage over YouTube because YouTube is very, very not good at giving you short content that you want. They're trying to show you everything. So that's a kind of a thing. Dustin says he has shorts blocked um, on YouTube. They break the flow. I understand that. As a creator, though, I do need to make them because if YouTube kind of has a thing where, like, if you don't, they say that it's not this way, but realistically, you have to. So, like, as far as TikTok is concerned, the algorithm is an algorithm, but the audience dictates. So, with YouTube, and if you're a creator and you're like, oh, the algorithm hates me, what you have to do is you have to replace the word algorithm with audience because YouTube wants as many people to watch your content as possible, unless you're making content during a specific time at YouTube doesn't want people to see. There's definite shadow banning that goes on. There's definite things like that. But for the most part, most of the content that most of us make is innocuous. It's not something that they're going to shadow ban. We're not that controversial. We're not sharing things that are like that. I mean, every once in a while, I'll get a warning about my content that says it's not for monetization. I'll just appeal it, and in an hour or two later, it shows back up as green again. So it's whatever it is. It's just the way that whatever the algorithm, as far as that is concerned, or whatever the AI that trolls all the videos to pick out things that are said, don't always understand context or things like that. So that's definitely something to look into. But um, I mean, realistically, making content to help as many people is why I'm here. So, I mean, that means I'm going to go live multiple times a week. I'm going to try to make as much long form content as I can. I have really been slacking at that. The last long form video I made got 1,000 views, and that's amazing because that's not something that normally happens for me in a video that's only been out a week. 2 weeks. They hit 1,000 views in less than a week. That was amazing for me. That's huge. I'm coming up on, I think I've got like 3,000 or 4,000 views and to go, and I'll have a 500,000 views on this channel. So that's amazing. Short I put out last week hit 10,000 views. That's amazing for me. That's something that doesn't happen to my channel. My channel is small and I don't get a lot of views. Even like lives and interviews that I do barely get over 100, maybe 200 views. Something big like I with Steve from Serious Keto got like 500 views. But I mean, that's the exception, not the rule for me. My channel, while I have 4,500 subscribers, is still relatively small channel, and I don't get the views that I would like to see. But I'm still here, still chugging away, still, the little channel that could, and I'm not giving up, and I'm going to continue to make content. Um, obviously, like I'm not trying to be like, "Whoa, is me" or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. But um, I know it is easy to get frustrated as a creator when you put out a piece of content and you're happy with it and you're proud of it, and the views just don't come. So, but again, you have to replace algorithm with audience, and you have to ask yourself, am I making content that's worthy enough of an audience? I think so. So hopefully, all of you like what I make and you guys are sharing and liking and doing all that fun stuff. Brenda's in the house. Good morning, Brenda. I am so glad you're here, dear. Thank you so very much. Thank you so, so very much. I am so glad you're here, Brenda. How are you doing this morning? My kitty cat is outside the door whining because he has food and water, but he needs love. He's probably lost in the house. He'll stare at the wall and meow. Sometimes he licks the walls, which I'm not quite sure because they don't taste like snozberries. Good morning from Disney's Beach Club. Working this morning. Oh, I've never been to Disney's Beach Club. That's one thing I want to do. Maybe next time we go is just kind of go around to all of the different resorts. We did get a little bit of that. I still have never been to the Grand Floridian. We did walk around the last time we were at Disney. We did walk around the Poly for a little bit because we had Ohana reservations, and Ohana's so nice. I mean, the food's meh. I mean, the food is it's the same food you're gonna get over at like Chef Mickey's or whatever at the Contemporary or any of the character breakfasts, but just the atmosphere and the view of the park and it's just gorgeous. Price tag sucks, but I'm glad you're here, Matt. I hope Sarah's doing well. Give her a hug from me. Have an amazing Sunday. Thank you all thank you all. Thanks, Chris, for being here. Have a good rest of your day at work. Don't let it work you too hard. I'm doing well, hanging out with all of you. One of my favorite things. When I look forward to Sundays, it's such an amazing thing. Like, though, I'll tell you though, once like before I start doing this every Sunday, I'm like, what am I going to talk about? Do I even have enough to talk about? I mean, we're talking, focusing. So, like, the title of this is like focus on achieving great or achieving goals effectively. And then, like, the thumbnail said something. I can't remember what the thumbnail because I can't see it right now. But basically, that just comes down to focusing on being consistent and don't let lack of perfection derail you, because that is what it'll do. If you're focused on perfection, you're never going to be satisfied. You're never going to be perfect. So you're always going to be trying to give up. Don't do that. It's not good. Danny says it's time to make more coffee. Matt said Sarah's doing great. I'll give her a hug for you. I love that. And I love that you guys get to be at the parks or, the on Disney property as a job. And I know that it becomes a job and that it's not probably as much fun as it is for someone like me, and you don't get to go to the parks but every 5 years or whatever. It was funny the other day. I was in the car with the granddaughter, and she goes, "When am I going back to Disney?" I'm like, "I'm not sure." She goes, "In 9,000 days?" And I was like, "Hope not 9,000 days. That's 24 years." No, thank you. I want to go back way before 24 years because I don't want to go back 24 years. I'll be like 70. I don't want that. No, thanks. Let's see. What do we got? So Dustin's talking about looking at Matt's 3D printed channel. There are some things that I see that are looking cool. Like I was looking at a channel called Linus Tech Tips, and he had a there was a thing like he 3D printed a thing out that like had these faders in it, so you can control all the volume on your computer, and that would be very helpful for me. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but like I don't know if I can map the volume controls on my Rodecaster 2 to control like master volume and all the different volumes on the computer, even though it's hooked in two different ways. But I don't know if you could map it. Maybe I don't know. I just don't know enough about it. But yeah, but yeah, 3D printing like the case for that and making like little faders and make buttons and it looks pretty sweet. And you can buy it for like 20. You can buy little things like that for like $24, or you can 3D print it and buy all the things to make it for like $10. But I don't have a 3D printer, and I don't necessarily think it's something that I need to get invested in right now because then I'd be making all kinds of weird stuff. Yeah, I do not want to wait 24 years to come back to Disney. I know we're still paying off this last trip, and I do want to come back. I want to go back with just Shander and I, because I like being able to just go with her. It seems like it's less stressful just going the two of us, trying to corral the cats and get everyone. It's easier to rope drop. It's easier to do everything with just two people, and it's also easier to stay on property and just get on a bus or do whatever, you know. But I mean, we stayed really, really close. We stayed within like we were less than 10 minutes from the parks, in the condo where we stayed this last time. So that was nice. This is how I am with a lot of things. Like especially like if I come across like a new piece of tech, like a camera, and I'm like, well, this camera's been out 3 years. They're probably getting ready to come out with something better. Like I've been looking at wireless microphones, like the one thing that I wouldn't mind having the Rode mics is because they interact with my Rodecaster wirelessly, but they're like $400, and that's way out of my budget. And there's some like newer ones. They're NEEWER brand. They're like $100, and they basically do the exact same thing as the Rode. I mean, the video qual or the audio quality may be a little bit off here or there, but I mean, may not be the best. But I mean, like right now, we're having trouble on our lives, and when we go downstairs, because downstairs I don't have all audio set up. I just have little. I have lav mics plugged into the side of the laptop that are with a splitter to go to Shannon and I, and they pop and crackle and hum and do all kinds of stuff. So they're not as clean as like the setup here with like a Rode mic and a Rodecaster and all that stuff, where it should sound a lot better than it does when we do Tuesday lives. Um, but you know, and don't forget, in like 20 minutes, Autumn and Richard will be going live. I'm going to be asking them about valet parking. I don't know if she knows anything about that. If valet parking is the same cost as regular parking, because I don't know why I'm parking myself if valet works real well. Then I can have them unload my stuff and then be taken care of. So there's little questions like that that I'll ask, because I imagine she'll know the answer to that. Maybe find out when we're going to be seeing the release of the speakers, because we know just a handful of speakers. We know 2KK is going to be there because we know Joe and Rachel said they will always be at Keto Palooza. as long as they can be at Keto Palooza. So we know Dr. Barry and Nisha are going to be there, but I think that, and I think we know Maria is going to be there. Maria Emmerich will be there again this year. Maybe she'll bring more bread and throw at the people. She'll have more throwed rolls to throw at people. It's not too late. It's not too late. I'm here for another 20 minutes, give or take, 15 minutes. You're fine. Just fine. You can always go back and listen to the replay. Let's see. Maybe I should do it. Just start my channel and show all the mistakes and pitfalls of beginning of 3D printing. Yeah, like there's a guy that I do Toxic Tuesday every Tuesday nights, and the guy who runs the slides and basically keeps the channel running, he does 3D printing, and he's always kind of showing off little things that he's 3D printed. Like he 3D printed Dozer, the dog, like the devil dogs from Ghostbusters, and he's like the badge, like the Ghostbuster logo and all that stuff. That's pretty cool. Um, Milady Laugh a Lot, my first live stream with you, some friends in here. Hello, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. So glad. Thank you for joining us. I think this the first live stream with me. That's awesome. I love new people. I think I've seen you in other chats, other lives. That warms my heart. I love new people. I raised my coffee to you. So, thank you. Okay, Andy. All right, thank you, Andy. All right. I will try and remember that. I've got a spreadsheet with screen names and real names. I try to remember. Milady Laugh a Lot is Andy. Milady Laugh a Lot is Andy. Okay. I try to remember that. It's always easier like Matt. It's hard to forget Matt's name. And that's like when I do this, like I keep my name down here because when I watch live streams, people just put their screen names or whatever there. And I'm like, well, and I'm trying to say hi to them in the chat. I'm like, I don't know what your name is. I can't remember what your name is, or if I'm watching somebody new on a channel that I watch and they're interviewing somebody, I'm like, that's why I put my name there. So, I mean, I was really bad at telling people my name like the first 2 years of this channel. And even still, when Shannon and I do videos together, I have to make it a point to be like, I'm Dustin and she's Chandra, because it's so difficult. Like, I just didn't tell anybody my name for the longest time, because kind of when I was doing, in the early days of YouTube, like I've always been a huge consumer of YouTube since maybe like 2008, 9. I started watching like Philip DeFranco way back when I had a BlackBerry. So like 2007, 2008, I started watching like Philip DeFranco and all that stuff. And yeah, he was somebody who told you their name, but most people would have channels and they would just say, their channel name was what they called themselves. And so you never knew what their actual name was. And that kind of stuck with me. So when I started my channel, I didn't tell anybody my name. And I'm like, well, if I want to be interpersonal and I want to build a community, you got to know my name. So my name is Dustin. Yeah. When was YouTube the person of the year? I'm not sure. I know that YouTube launched in 2005, so it is almost 20 years old. On the cover of Time. Oh, let's see. 2012, maybe? I don't know. I didn't say like maybe 2012. I don't remember. I don't think I ever heard it, actually. I don't say, if I heard it, I don't remember. And yeah. Andy says, we live close, so meeting at a meetup is a real possibility. Check out our meetup in Eaton, Ohio on June 29th. I don't know where Eaton, Ohio is. What is that close to? Because I'm in Indianapolis. I'm in central Indiana. So I go to the meetups like in Columbus, and sometimes I go out and meet people up in Cincinnati. I know that I will be going up at least some point in time with Shander and myself. We'll be going up to hang out with Stacy and everybody at Stacy's house. They do meetups there on Thursdays up near like not close but not far, like in the area of Toledo. Um, December 25th, 2006, Person of the Year. So it got like a less than a year after starting. That's pretty awesome. Or around a year after becoming a thing. So exit 1 off of I-70. So like 2 hours from here. Because an hour, it takes me an hour to cross. It takes me an hour to cross the city to get like, yeah. So like 2 hours to get to the border, I think. Well, that's not far. I don't know. I know I've got a meetup here in April, up on the north side. Brett over at Hoosier Carnivore is doing a meetup in Geist on the 27th. That should be up on um, the lowcarbevents.com. I know we are doing a meetup here in central Indiana on the west side, further west, May 18th. More details to come. That should be up on lowcarbevents.com as well. And I know sometime in April, we will maybe be running into Joe and Rachel from Two Crazy Ketos as they are purchasing a new camper from Indiana. So maybe we'll be running into them somewhere. But yeah. Yeah. I mean, YouTube has just become one of those things. Like it was just a play. Funny thing is YouTube was actually supposed to be a dating site when it first launched, and then it became basically morphed and turned into a video hosting site, which is pretty interesting. It takes an hour and 30 to get to the Indy airport. I'm not far from the Indy airport. I'm actually like maybe 10, 15 minutes from the airport. So I'm not that far. Uncle Big Guy is here, Arden. I'm pretty sure I said hello to you already. I think. We've been talking a while. I've been talking a while. But yeah, my kids don't live that far from the airport either. So I live actually further west than the airport, actually, which is crazy to think. Because like whenever I'm going to the airport, it seems like you're going so far out west. Then I realize that it's actually the airport's east of me. So, perception. Let's take a look at the lowcarbevents.com. Let me take a look at that. That's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to end here. All right, so we've got Sarah's Joyful Tea Party, March 30th at 5 p.m. That's in Claremont, Florida. That's a little far away from me. Let's see. So there's a DFW meetup. That's a Texas meetup. Keto San Antonio meetup. Let's see. Melbourne Health Summit. Here's the one that I'm going to. This is at Wolfie's Grill here in Geist. Keto Carnivore meetup. That's the one being held by Brett over at Hoosier Carnivore. There's an email address to let him know if you were interested in coming. There's the April 27th meetup in Cincinnati Tri-State meetup at Eli's Barbecue, Saturday the 27th. So I won't be able to make that, I guess, because that's the same day as the one in town, and I was just in Ohio last week. Indie meetup right here. This is the one. May 18th. It is $20, but that covers all of the food. We will be providing all the food unless anybody wants to bring desserts or anything like that, sides, that kind of thing. Bring keto side or dessert to share. Please RSVP by May the 4th. We'll be making, I think we're going to be making brisket, and we'll be providing waters and sodas and all of that stuff. So this will be the third one that we've done. We did 2 last year, and this is the one we're doing this year. So Keto Indie Barbecue meetup. So hopefully all of you can come out. So we will be providing the brisket, pulled pork, pumpkin sausage soup, drinks, paper products, and utensils. And if you want to bring a side or dessert, please do so. That pumpkin soup is worth the price of admission. That's all I had last year, was just in October, was just the pumpkin soup. That stuff is delicious. Like, seriously, one of my favorite soups I've ever put in my face hole. It's amazing. So if you are at all interested in hanging out with us, RSVP Jackie's Jinx, or Jacket. Her name used to be Jackie's Jinx Journey, and that's what is in my head all the time. So it's Jackie's Keto Journey. RSVP by May the 4th. $20, and there is all the payment info in here, all the Venmos. So, yeah, super excited to hopefully hang out with some of you if you guys can make it. If not, we understand it is a lot to travel. Hopefully you guys will be able to make it, and we'll be having a good time hanging out with everybody. But yeah, we are kind of coming to the end of today. We are kind of coming to the end of this session, because we know that that Richard and Autumn will be going live soon. They are going live in like 7 minutes. So what I'll do is start my Midwest goodbye. You know how those take a long time. Danny, how in the world is that a thing? He says the pumpkin soup is too spicy for him. It is a little spicy, but it's not spicy for me. It's just, it's a definite note of spice, but I don't think it's too spicy. But I'm glad each and every one of you were here. I appreciate all of you, all the ones that are subscribed, that show up every Saturday, Sunday to hang out and talk with me. Those of you that are so gracious and become members to help support this channel, to keep me doing what I get to do. I do appreciate each and every one of you. You mean the absolute world to me. Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate all of you that have become members, all of you who come and hang out with me, talk with me, keep me company. Make this such a worthwhile thing for me to do, because I'm so excited every Sunday to get to come and hang out with you. It's one of the things that I look forward to most out of the week. John, goodbye all. Have a great Sunday. I'm now going to make some meatballs. All right. Andy says, don't put in peppers. Danny I'll make some for you. Well, that is so sweet. Look at that. That's community. Amazing community. Such awesome people. You guys are so sweet. I love all of you. You guys are amazing. Again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming and spending your day, your morning with me, getting up early, listening to me while you're doing your stuff throughout the day. Thank you, Maitreya. I will see you tonight for Coffee Talk. Check out her. Go by at 6 o'clock. I believe it's 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for a Radical Geek and her coffee talk tonight. She'll be cooking some stuff. Cauliflower rice, fried cauliflower rice. Hang out with us. Hang out with her. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks so very much. I will see you next week.